Hi again. Today, or in this video, we're going to talk about the SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, it's one of the techniques that we use to identify the internal and the external factors that impact the organization. And this analysis will help you better understand your company, your organization, and the environment that you work with. And we need to look into the internal factors, internal strength, and the internal weaknesses, and then identify it. And then same thing for the external opportunities and the external threats. With the internal strength, we look into the characteristic and capability that gives the organization a competitive advantage. For example, financial strength, good reputation in the marketplace, high quality product and services, or strong management team. In terms of the weakness, we look into the characteristic or capability that puts the organization competitive at disadvantages, such as strategic confusion or lack of directions or weak management team or inefficient skills or capabilities in our company. Now, moving into the external part and to understand, so now we understand the internal, our strength and weaknesses from the inside. Let's go find the opportunities and threats from the outside. So the external opportunities, basically looking into what venues will help the organization to grow and gain sustainable competitive advantage, such as new customers, expanding the market, or failures of competitors, new online technology that enhance productivity or quality. Our threat also could be the factors that put the organization at a competitive disadvantage, such as entry of low-cost competitor, entry of higher quality competitor, increased sales of a substitute product or service. Now, for the SWOT analysis, we summarize the SWOT analysis with this four squares. The first line here, the first row would be the internal factor, the second one for the external factors. The first column is for the positive factors, the second column for the negative column, for the negative factors. So for example, you could list the strength from the internal, such as the technology, the brand, the channel, the quality, the management. Same thing, you look into the weaknesses. Maybe this, you could list twice the management, both strength and weaknesses. Why, how is that? That could be, depends on the management is a strong, but however, if we have a management weakness, that if we have a management replacement, that would consider as a weakness. So we need maybe stability in the company to just put the management here. Same thing for technology. Technology would be considered as an external factor. It could be an opportunity for the company to use the new technology, but if we did not keep up with the new technology, that could be a threat for us. So we need to consider the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and list down what exactly we're trying to find. When we talk about the SWOT analysis, we need to also to consider the product life cycle, where we are in the life cycle of the product and service. And there are four phases for the product life cycle. That's introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. And each phase will need from operations managers to be able to make some decisions based on the phase. For example, in the introduction, what they want to do, that's the best period to increase market share in the introduction. And what you need to do, you need to increase your investment in research and development in this phase. For example, the autonomous car would be considered in that phase. Now moving into the growth phase, where you need to strengthen your niche market, and then you maybe need to do some practical to change price and quality image. So you need to do some practices to do that. What's the image? What's the understanding of the customers of your company? And that would be consider electric vehicle, 3D printing, or Boeing 787. Now, virtual reality on the edge between introduction and growth, it does not, it's just moving from one side to another. And the same thing, maybe later on in 5 years we'll be in the growth, or maybe in 10 years we'll be in maturity, maybe in 20 years we'll decline, and we never know what technology, new technology we will have. Now, the third phase, which is the maturity, which is this is your goal. As the operations manager, what you need to do, you need to extend the maturity phase. what you want to do not change anything on the price or quality. Maybe you could decrease the price, but not increase it. You maybe improve the quality. Competitive costs become critical. So you need to, because there are more competitors coming into the market. Now they are aware of that product. So they're trying to do similar things like you. So you need to compete based on a price. You need to defend your market position. An example on this, that would be the hybrid engine vehicles or the Xbox One. Now for the decline phase, where you don't want to spend a lot of time and cost on that. You have to control the cost because that product or service is declining, and maybe there's no way that you can save it. It's dying. So for example, Boeing 747, it's dying. We're having a new Boeing coming up, and we have DVDs is dying. So very few people are using DVDs these days. And then video physical rentals now, most times that we do online rentals. So the physical rental is not, it's dying. Now, also here's what you need to do. Here's this table will give you the operations management strategy that you want to use based on the phase. For introduction, for example, product design development is critical. So you need to invest in the design and product development. You will have a lot of changes in the design. You will have a short production runs. You will have a high cost because you're still in beginning learning. Limited models, there's not a lot of variety of models, and attention to quality. And this is what you need to do in the introduction. Now, moving into the growth, you need to forecast. Forecasting is critical, so you need to invest some time on forecasting the needs. You need to provide product reliability and process reliability, competitive product improvement and options. So you need to work on the how you compete, you improve your competitive in the market, how you could increase your capacity for your plant, because there will be more demand coming on your market. Shift toward product focus now, instead of just, we're done with experimenting, now we're growing, so we need to produce more to serve more customers. Enhance distribution, you need to start sending these products to the market. Maturity, this is again where you need to extend the longer period of your life, of the product life on this. As much as you can make it longer, the more you get more business and money. So you need to work on standardization, fewer changes, or maybe very minor changes, optimum the capacity, increasing stability of the process, long production run, and product improvement and cost cutting. This is what you want to do in the maturity. In the last phase, which is decline, you have little product differentiation. You don't have to worry. Cost minimization, over capacity in the industry. Maybe you need to eliminate some of the items because they're not doing a good in there in terms of margin and profits, and then you reduce the capacity for that product because it's dying. So very minimal efforts need in the decline, because your product is done. There's not a lot of demand on it, so you need to move on to the new one, and that is the product life cycle. So based on the product life cycle, you can create your mission, vision, and strategy for your organization to be able to run within this product life cycle. All right, let's come up with all what we have learned so far. We've learned about analyzing the environment, using the SWOT analysis, and then moving into, after understanding the environment, what we do, we look into the mission and vision. We create the mission of the company, what we need to provide to the society, how we make the future is different, what our contribution to the future. And then once we create the mission, we create the strategy, and we select the strategy, whether the low price strategy or the quick delivery, or maybe the differentiate yourself from the competitors. And next, what would be next? I'm asking you what would be next, because I want you to think about, once I've done with the strategy, what should I do next? Next, I have to move on to the subdivision, to the departments, and ask them to align their missions and visions with the strategy of the company. So that's a mission of vision, that's a strategy, that's the functional goal. This is where we need to move on to the functional goals, finance strategy, marketing strategy, operation strategy, and more. Then build the techniques and action plan to meet to reach the mission and vision of the organization. And here's a good example of a strategy, the series strategy. I want you to read this case study. This is also will give you the bigger picture of how you should compete. We're telling you about Sears, how they use the mailing catalog, sending it to the customer, and customer used to buy it this way. And now Amazon replaced that idea with the online, with the having the technology. They've changed to the online thing, and this is where the Amazon has been successful and increased the share, its market share compared to Walmart, which used to be the biggest or has the largest share in the market. Now what we're going to do, we're going to continue on the creating the strategy and go down into the next step, which is the key success factors and how we could create these key success factors and core competencies. But that's going to be for another video. So let's meet in another video. Let's talk about it later. All right. See you there.